What is going on, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today I am going to be doing a brand new live stream of the 2018 election race. Mostly I'm going to be concentrating on the election in Texas, because if you actually did watch my video, which actually the video is growing pretty fast. I mean, that's actually surprised me a little bit. But if you actually watched the video that I posted yesterday, you will know that I actually went to go attend a rally being held by possible Senate hopeful Beto O'Rourke. And if you are unfamiliar with who Beto O'Rourke is basically the Democratic candidate who is running against Ted Cruz, the incumbent U.S. Senator representing the state of Texas. So, obviously, every single state has two senators, and that is something that we are going to be looking into. And we're going to be basically analyzing the polls that are being released by several news agencies and stuff like that in the state of Texas between Beto O'Rourke and Ted Cruz. Beto is not his actual name. His name is actually Robert, but he does go by Beto. So if you I actually do have the video actually pulled up. So we actually, I mean, there's a couple of points that we can hear in here. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of this.
And justice for all in this country. We can do this, and we can lead on this.
Wait, hang on. Watch this. Oh my god, you can see the sweat.
No. Tell me that there is not a people that better understand the impacts of man-made climate change than the people of Texas. 1 year after Harvey, visiting some of these neighborhoods in Houston like Kashmir Gardens where there's...
So basically, what we are looking into is how energetic Beto actually is. And I'm also going to be going over my opinion of Beto, and I'm also going to kind of analyze how the race is looking between Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke. I'm not just going to be analyzing polls off of it, I'm going to be going off of my own opinion, and I'm going to be going off of what can be seen between these two candidates for Texas Senate. So, we do have a Real Clear Politics polling that is going on right now. We have one that was conducted in July. This one separated them by 2 points, and then the Quinnipiac poll came out, 6 points separated to 2. Then NBC came out, 4 points separated to 2, and then Emerson came out, and this one surprised me. They are now separated by 1 point in this Senate race. I'm not saying that there is going to be a for sure chance that Beto O'Rourke is going to win this election. I am pretty confident that Ted Cruz can pull it off. I think it's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be a victory for the Democratic Party in the state of Texas. If it is going to be close, then they will declare victory, because they will say this is the closest it's ever been in since 1972 or something like that, which is the last time that a Democratic senator was actually elected to serve as a Texas senator. So, what we are looking into is, can Beto O'Rourke actually win in the state of Texas? And the answer is, we don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, Texas is always going to be red, blah, blah, blah. Texas isn't always going to be red. Pennsylvania is not always going to be blue. California is not always going to be blue. Oklahoma is not always going to be red. So we're not looking into saying, okay, well, I'm going to be biased because I'm a Republican, and say, okay, well, Texas is Republican, so they're definitely going to stay Republican. Looking at it into that sort of sense is both ignorant and stupid, in my opinion. I believe that You should analyze things not based off of your own political ideology, but what this situation is at hand. And you have two candidates. You have two candidates. You have one that is a pro-Trump Republican. He supports the president. He supports his policies and stuff like that. He did run against them, and a lot of people are saying we don't. They shouldn't. They don't know why he wants to do that, and B, um, they don't know why he wants to. Um, wow, I did get bit by a bug yesterday. There was a wasp that was in my shirt. It was scary, but um, yeah, it's like it's ignorant to look at something and say, well, yeah, it's for sure because the polling says this, this does that, blah blah blah. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like my own opinion. There is a question that was asked by Ammon. What is your opinion on Beto? I think Beto um, is a pretty good candidate that the Democrats could have thrown into the Texas Senate. I think that's why it's being so close. I'm not saying that he's a good candidate because I support his policies. I'm saying that he's a good candidate because he's energetic. He's not. Wow, that just refreshed on me. He's energetic. He is out there. He is. He's campaigning extremely well. He's going across all of the counties of Texas. I mean, right after he went to the event in to where I went, he went to the county over and he went to another rally and spoke there, and then he went to another rally. You can look at his Twitter, and he's just going to like 4 or 5 different places in one day. So he's campaigning as hard as he can, and he's going to places that have voted for um, Republicans in previous elections. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually pull up a let me actually pull this up. So this is going to be the map of the Senate race that was held in 2012, where Ted Cruz was elected to succeed Kay Bailey Hutchison. Kay Bailey Hutchison was the previous U.S. senator that served represented the state of Texas in 2006, and she was elected in 2006. So that is actually the last time that Texas has actually elected a female senator. So we are actually looking into this, and Ted Cruz won by about 15, actually 16 points. Yeah, 16.1 points actually. So looking into this, it can be said, okay, well, the election is gonna like be pretty good for Cruz because he actually is gonna be like there. But no, we're looking into 2018. This is going to be we're looking at the election where Donald Trump is the president of the United States, one of the most divisive um, eras. No matter how you look at it, you have to admit that we are pretty divided in this country, and we are going to look and we're going to analyze these results after November 6th, and we are going to see how divided the United States actually is. This is going to be one of the most divisive elections in the history of the United States. Which, I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm trying to make it sound like cool or dramatic or something like that. I'm saying that because we're looking into an election where um, we're looking into an election where the people, Donald Trump is on this side. He's saying all these things. I'm not saying it's bad or good. And then you have the Democrats on the other side that are literally so anti-Trump that they are actually coming out and openly supporting the impeachment of the President of the United States. So, again, we are looking into one of the most divisive elections to where we are going to see whether the President can actually hold on to the Senate and the House in his first term in office, If he can do that, oh my god, he's gonna be unstoppable. But afterward, you need to at least realize that we're gonna come out of this election like beat the living crap out of, because we have no idea what's going to happen after this election. And it's going to be phenomenally interesting to see what happens. So, another thing that I actually was going to go ahead and look into is we're actually going to go ahead and pull up the House elections that are actually going to be taking place in there. We actually have some election races that we are actually able to look into. So we do actually have more and more races that are being covered by Real Clear Politics. Actually, I'm actually going to go ahead and look at this one because this is actually Paul Ryan's district. So it does look like from right now, the election could actually still be a Republican hold. It is declared a battleground by Real Clear Politics, but we are looking into it, and it does say that they are 6 points ahead of the Democrat in Wisconsin 1. So, in any case, Wisconsin 1 will remain Republican, and the speakership will go ahead and go on to someone else if the Republicans keep the House. So, I actually want to ask you guys, for those who are watching right now, who do you guys think is actually going to win the election? Who do you guys think is going to win the election for speakership? Whether the Democrats are sworn in or the Republicans are sworn in? Maybe even the Republicans can, or the Democrats can actually do something and actually elect Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to actually succeed Nancy Pelosi. In any case, I actually think that the Democrats are actually going to elect a progressive to actually succeed I think the Democrats are actually going to elect a progressive leaning Democrat, or at least a really, really hard leaning progressive for the speakership if Nancy Pelosi is ousted in the event the Democrats actually win the House race. So there was actually something I was looking at. Hang on. So the election where Troy Balderson actually won the election seems actually wait. Oh, that's just for the special election. Let me go ahead and analyze a couple of these races in California. Okay, so that's nothing. I'm actually going to go ahead and come over here. I'm actually going to go, let me go here, here. House map. No. I need to come over here. Latest polls. So let's go ahead and analyze some of the latest polls. We are looking at a Minnesota governor poll, and that is putting the Democrat 9 points ahead. I think the Democratic Party is the incumbent party, but it does seem to be close, especially for a Minnesota race. That's actually pretty surprising. So Maine's second district seems to be going to fall into the Republican column. Colorado 6 seems to be going into the Democratic column. Florida governor race, we have a new poll out of there. 6 points ahead for Andrew Gillum. Does look like the governor races in all of these areas are actually going to affect the outlook of the U.S. in the sense of governor races, and the Republicans could lose the majority in governorships across the United States. Let me actually pull up RCP governor's map. So all of these states are actually going to be battlegrounds. It does look like Oklahoma and Arizona are actually polling pretty badly for the Republicans. Wow. The Democratic candidate was actually in the lead, and now the Republican is in the lead. So the governor race in Oklahoma, in the state of Oklahoma, could actually be an interesting one. Doug Ducey seems to be in the lead, so that does seem to keep the Republican governorship in Arizona in the Republican column. Nevada governor, it does look like it's mixed, so we are not sure of who could actually win there. DeWine seems to be leading in the recent poll by NBC, but that was back in June. And it is a tie for okay, this one was held in September, so this is the most recent one. Kim Reynolds may actually be ousted as governor of Iowa. And Chris Kobach is actually in the lead in the most recent poll out of the state of Kansas. This is actually Kobach was the guy who actually had to. Kobach was actually the guy who actually nearly had to concede defeat because he was so close in the state of Kansas. And we are looking at Stacey Adams versus Brian Kemp, and that is actually seeming to be a tie because a lot of people are actually coming out to support the Stacey Abrams because of the because of the thing that's actually coming out. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up 538. I was actually thinking about that earlier, so I'm actually going to go ahead and pull that up. So we're going to go ahead and look at the House races that 538 is actually forecasting. So they are predicting a 5 in 6 chance, or 83% chance, that the Democrats will win control of the House. So they are predicting that the Democrats are going to. So right here we're looking at the greatest chance of 229 seats for the Democrats and 206 seats for the Republicans. In the case that wow, this is just weird. And then they're predicting a 16% chance or 17% chance of that. Well, actually, if I the classic forecast plus the experts forecast, that number actually goes down to 78.5% or 7 chance that the Democrats will win control of the House, and 21% chance or 2 in 9 chance of the Republicans keeping control of the House. And then we have all of these areas right here. We have a lot of these House districts that are up for grabs in this area. So this is an example of something that I'm actually looking at, and I'm actually concentrating on this one. Michael Burgess versus Lindsey Fagan. Lindsey Fagan is the Democratic progressive that the Democratic Party in the 26th district of Texas actually picked to represent the Democratic Party. She has numerous endorsements. Doesn't take money from big money corporations or anything like that. Prime candidate for progressive candidates on the top. So I'm actually gonna pull up Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's race. I actually want to see what's going on there. Where is it? New York 14. Okay, let me get rid of that cartogram. Can I zoom in? Can I zoom in? Whoa, what the hell is this? Ooh, wait, I can actually click on that. Let me actually come back over here. Ooh. Okay. I don't think the 14th is on there. Well, the 14th is always on there. The 14th is on there. It's just super, super small. But I think it's on. Okay, so they have 13. I think I saw that. So they have 13 and 15. Oh, wait. There it is. God. There's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's race. She's running against Anthony Pappas. It's a um, complete chance that she, or not chance, but she is actually again going to pass and get elected um, into that seat. It's a complete for sure chance. There's no way she's going to lose against the Republicans, especially in the year that we are in right now, especially with how divided this election is. So, actually, okay. So there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and actually pull up the Senate now. So we are actually looking at a worse chance for the Democrats in the Senate. They're actually 538 is actually predicting nearly 70% chance of the Republicans actually keeping control of the Senate, and then only a 32% chance of the Democrats actually keeping or actually taking control of the Senate. So in any case, they're actually predicting the most chance of a one seat gain for the Democrats, and splitting it 50-50, but that would keep it in Republican control because the vice president is a Republican. Then 15.4% chance that the election will remain as it is, or then we come over here, all these areas right here, 62-38. 53, 47, a 9% chance of just a 2% two-seat gain for the Republican Party. 42 seats are not up for election, 35 seats are up for election in there. Most of them are actually Democratic, but they are predicting that all of these seats are going to. So we're actually seeing 3 of them that are actually like toss-ups. Florida. Ooh, 538 on the Rick Scott race. I want to see this one. Let me go over to Deluxe. Oh, 1.6 plus 1.6. And then we're looking at a 59% chance that Bill Nelson will actually win, and a 40% chance that the Republican Rick Scott will actually win. If you scroll up, they actually have a map. Let me actually look. Hang on. Okay, so here is the Texas Senate race. We're actually looking at a 74% chance that the Republican wins, and then a 25% chance that the Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke will win. So they're actually predicting that like 2% of the vote share will actually go to the independent or libertarian, 46% will go to Beto O'Rourke, and 51% of the vote will go to Ted Cruz. So it is a 3 and 4 chance that the Republican will actually win. And we have all of this. So they are predicting that Texas is going to be positive 4.7 in Republican favor. And then they have all these polls right here. September 6th. Oh, they actually have more polls than Real Clear Politics. I actually probably need to start using this one more. So the most recent poll actually put Beto O'Rourke 3 points behind Ted Cruz, and an adjusted margin of 1.4 if you put the margin of error in there. So, and then the poll before that was 4.1%, 4.1 points there. Hey, what's going on, John? Welcome to the live stream. Also, welcome to the live stream, Ant. And JJ Holmes, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the live stream. So we are actually, again, just from what I experienced, going over to Beto O'Rourke's rally, it is actually just a very he was a very interesting guy. Ow. He was a very interesting guy. He was like he spoke out. I mean, there was no teleprompter. Um there was no nothing that he was using, and so that's why I just honestly thought it was pretty interesting to see that he didn't speak from a teleprompter. He spoke from the heart, and he was basically like building on a lot of these stuff, on a lot of the stuff that he was talking about. And he talked about stuff that was passionate to him, and I thought I could hear something. So he talked about stuff that was passionate to him, and it was very very interesting to see that. And I mean, if you like say, well, you know, he he's a damn socialist, blah blah blah. I mean, I know he's a progressive. He supports things that you probably don't know, but to say that it's bad for someone. I mean, I identify as a center right, sort of conservative, something like that. I'm not gonna say that I am conservative because I'm still kind of trying to process the kind of um I'm still trying to process the kind of political ideology I am. And I mean, I was called a rhino yesterday because I went to go see Beto O'Rourke. So it's I think it's stupid whenever you think it's a bad thing for especially Republicans to come out and listen to people like Beto O'Rourke. Even if you disagree with them, I didn't agree with every single thing that Beto O'Rourke said, but you can at least commend the guy for speaking from the heart, for speaking with enthusiasm. That's probably something that Ted Cruz has to step up his game in. That's why Beto O'Rourke is performing so well in the polls, and how so many people were turning out. There were over 3,000 people at that rally yesterday when I went to go see it. I will actually pull up the video again, and I'm actually going to show you whenever I turn the camera around. Like, I did a span of just all these people that are there. Look at all these people that are just standing there and supporting Beto because they support his ideology. And yeah, it's just I mean it's commendable, and you can't you can't shame someone for believing in something that they want to believe in. He wants to believe in climate change. He wants to believe in things such as abortion rights, stuff like that. You can disagree with all of these things, but you can still go out and listen to the opposing candidate that you do not want to vote for. You need to see these candidates as someone that is going to be um you need to you need to go out and listen. You need to go out and just give them a chance for them to speak to you. And I mean, at one point, I felt like Beto O'Rourke was actually listening to me because um, he was actually, he made a comment, and I would have to find a timestamp and stuff like that, where he literally said, if you're a Republican and you're here, you're in the right place. If you're a Democrat and you're here, you're in the right place. If you're an independent and you're here, you're in the right place. So, people such as me, and I mean, I have a brother that I went with, and they, I mean, me and him have completely opposing political views. So, you need to, just take an example from me. Go listen to these candidates. Go and hear them out. And that's kind of the end of my rant on that. I need to make a video of just like a time lapse of his sweat just coming out because oh my god, this guy was just sweating completely. It was hilarious. Like, I was watching, and I swear to God, this guy was just sweating so much. Um, and by the way, for those who are watching right now, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I actually am very, very close to getting to 1,500 subscribers. Once I actually do that, I will actually try to track down and go to more of these political rallies. These rallies are actually very, very fun to go to. This was actually my first political rally, and I actually I mean, I had a fun time. I had a fun time going out and listening to these people actually talk and like give their opinion on what they actually like. And I think the reason why that video that I made, I think the reason why the video had like 9 dislikes on it, I think that's because just a lot of people, I mean, didn't really exactly like Beto O'Rourke, so they just automatically wanted to dislike. I mean, it doesn't bother me when people dislike. I think that's just a way for people to just say, haha, like, I'm just gonna dislike your video, blah blah blah. But I mean, there's more likes on that video now than dislikes, so it kind of pans out. So anyway, so my point is that again, like, my suggestion is, again, just go listen to these people, go listen and be active, go out and vote whenever the election comes. And if you live in the United States and you have a candidate that is up for re-election or that is going to be elected, I'm not telling you to who to support. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, you need to support this guy because I believe that the Democrats are going to destroy this country or the Republicans are going to destroy this country. Thank you so much, John, for that €1 donation. That was actually really nice of you. Um, but yeah, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you who to vote for. I'm telling you to go vote. You need to go vote in this election, no matter who you support. I don't care if you vote for the Democrat. I don't care if you vote for the Republican. I'm not here to judge you politically because I don't think anyone should be judged politically. I think people should be judged on the way they act and their personality and stuff like that. I don't think you should be judged just because you support Beto O'Rourke, or if you support Ted Cruz, or if you support Donald Trump, or if you support Hillary Clinton. Like, these are people who want to represent you, and they're just here. And by the way, John, I will probably get on Power and Revolution in a minute. This is just kind of like a regular podcast that I usually like to do on Sundays. And I think I'm gonna start making it in a regular sense. Um yeah, I mean, like, if people make fun of you for your politics, don't listen to that. I mean, I get a lot of people um I get a lot of people that actually, like, don't like me because because they see, like, that I have a Trump shirt or something like that, and then they say, "Oh yeah, well, you're a crappy person because you support Trump." And I'm just like, "No, I don't agree with everything that he says, but I thought he was the prime candidate in 2016, so I got it." But yeah, it's just like, that's just something that has been on my mind, and I really wanted to talk about this Beto O'Rourke rally. By the way, JJ Holmes, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop spamming 270. But anyway, I'm going to I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, and just literally, I'm actually gonna start talking about the Russia investigation. So the Russia investigation is actually one of the most divisive things that we are actually looking at as a country right now. And I think that, wait, hang on, I just saw a thing. Oh my God, there's this thing from there's a CNN report on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez uh, defending like a $40 $40 trillion price tag stuff such as Medicare for all, job guarantees, student loan forgiveness, free college programs, paid family leave, and on Social Security and expansion. Medicare for all would be the costliest initiative, coming in around $32 trillion, according to the George Mason University, as well as an earlier study by the Urban Institute's Health Policy Center. So, yeah, I mean, so that just kind of distracted me. But I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next topic, which is going to be the Russia investigation. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull that up right now. So the Russia investigation is basically one of the prime things that is actually driving candidates to oppose Trump, or maybe even support Trump, depending on where they stand. So the special counsel was formed in, I believe it was, it was formed on May 17th, 2017. And it's been conducted by the U.S. Department of Justice's Office of the Special Counsel, which is headed by the former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Robert Mueller. So Mueller has actually been expanding an investigation on whether the Russian Federation intervened in the U.S. election of 2016 to support Donald Trump for the presidency. So what we are looking at is actually it was actually like getting a lot of bipartisan support, and the Republicans and Democrats both said, okay, we need to look into this and stuff like that. But after a lot of people started to say, okay, well, the Russians actually got involved, blah blah blah. This investigation has been going on for more than a year now, about a year and a half, and nothing has been found. Honestly, like if you look into it, nothing is being found on the investigation. And I don't see how people who support Trump don't want the investigation, because if he didn't do anything, he wouldn't be guilty then. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I believe that the investigation should run its course. But at the same time, whenever you're not finding anything on them, whenever you're not finding anything on the president himself, which the investigation is about, which, I mean, he's not under direct investigation. They're investigating the people in his campaign. And a lot of the stuff that is being looked into is completely irrelevant to the investigation itself. A lot of the things that, I swear to God, I mean, it's gotten me to think about it, and it's gotten me to oppose the investigation. I mean, I am now against the investigation because there's nothing being found. Look at it. There's nothing at all that is being found on any of these people. The investigation is about the Russia investigation. It's about whether the Russians got involved in the election of the United States. If that's what it was truly about, they wouldn't be arresting these people. They're arresting them, like people such as Manafort and Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen was the let me actually pull something up. Michael Cohen was the personal lawyer of the President of the United States, and he served as vice president of the Trump Organization special counsel to Donald Trump himself. And then he was a deputy finance chairman of the Republican National Committee. So now he has been arrested and charged, or actually, he's actually going to be sentenced on December 12th, but he has pleaded guilty to all of the charges of the following: 5 counts of tax evasion, 1 count of making false statements to a financial institution, 1 count of willfully causing an unlawful corporate contribution, and 1 count of making an excessive campaign contribution at the request of a candidate or campaign. So, what we are looking at is he has been arrested for all of those things. Now, if it was a big deal, if it was actually because he did something if he actually did something to like cooperate with like Russian agents and stuff like that, that's what this investigation is going into. It's finding that these people were doing like back channel money laundering, such as like in Paul Manafort's case. It's not even an investigation about the Russians. It's an investigation about Donald Trump himself. It's an investigation about some sort of, not exactly bad, but irrelevant cases of Donald Trump saying, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and pay off Stormy Daniels, a porn star, to shut her up, to make sure that she doesn't say anything about the affair that I had with her. Yes, it is immoral to have an affair with someone, but for one, if the affair did take place, I believe it did take place, well, actually, it took place like a while ago, and I don't think he was running whenever the affair took place. Let me actually look it up. Okay. It's a political scandal involving a non-disclosure agreement signed by the U.S. President, Donald Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, and adult film actress Stormy Daniels just before the 2016 election. After the existence of the NDA was revealed by the Wall Street Journal in January 2018, Daniels sued Trump and Cohen to argue that the agreement is invalid. The dispute has gained significant media coverage and has drawn legal attention to Cohen's involvement in the matter. So what we are actually looking at is apparently the thing actually took place in 2013, which I'm actually trying to confirm right now. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right now, is that Cohen supposedly used campaign funds, which is illegal under U.S. federal election finance laws. If he did use it, then yeah, that's bad. If he used it at the request of a candidate for federal office, then maybe that does make it a little bit worse. But this completely derails the entire reason the Russia investigation is going out. And I mean, the media and stuff like that, and people are actually literally saying, okay, well, this just proves that Trump is a bad person, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think it has to prove that he's a bad person. Okay, well, actually, let me reword that. It proves that he could be somewhat immoral to actually get what he wants and stuff like that. I'm not saying that should be impeachable. What I think is going to happen is that he is going to be, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think it's a good idea for him to talk to Robert Mueller, because I have a feeling that he is going to be swayed into lying under oath. That's what got Bill Clinton to be impeached by the House of Representatives. And that is actually one reason why a lot of people don't want Donald Trump to talk to Robert Mueller, because he is going to be basically swayed into lying under oath. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are super, super afraid of that. And I mean, again, this is one reason why the Robert Mueller investigation makes no sense, because they're finding all of these things out about these people, which has nothing to do with Russia. It has nothing to do with Russia. Lied to Congress under oath, not a special counsel. Well, that's what I'm saying, is that he still lied under oath. That's what I said, is he's going to lie under oath, not specifically to a special counsel. But yeah, just for correction, Bill Clinton lied to Congress under oath, not a special counsel. So that's the only difference between that. But the only the similarity is that both of them would have lied under oath. And that's what is going to probably get Trump impeached if he ever does talk to Robert Mueller. So that's one thing that is going to affect that. And I mean, we can argue about how it's going to affect like the 2018 elections and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to affect it that much, because especially since they haven't found anything thus far, it's not going to go anywhere. I think there may be an October surprise. Something may get revealed sometime between now and October, the end of October. Maybe even before Trump comes to Texas. Which actually, I'm actually gonna go ahead and announce this now. Donald Trump is actually going to come to Texas, and I am going to go. Depending on where it actually is. If it's actually like, in another city or something like that, I'm probably not going to go. But if it is actually going to be close by, because he said he's going to pick the largest stadium in Texas, then I am actually going to go ahead and try to RSVP and go myself, so I can actually go and see Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. So if that does happen, I will record it just as I did with the Beto O'Rourke rally, and you guys will see it on my channel. But in any case, moving on from Michael Cohen, we're actually going to also look into Paul Manafort, which Paul Manafort has been arrested for, let me actually find, okay, Paul Manafort, and stuff like this. So he pleaded guilty. Okay, so he was arrested by the FBI after being indicted by federal grand jury as a part of Robert Mueller's investigation into the Trump campaign. The indictment against Paul Manafort and Rick Gates was issued on October 27, 2017. The indictment charged them with engaging in conspiracy against the United States, engaging in conspiracy to launder money, failing to file reports of foreign bank and financial accounts, acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign principal, making false and misleading statements and documents filed and submitted under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, and making false statements. Now, out of all of those, which one has anything to do with conspiracy? Okay, so this is the closest one you can actually find right now is engaging in conspiracy against the United States, which could say, okay, well, he was engaging in conspiracy with the Russian Federation to intervene in the Russian election. This is the closest thing they can ever find on anything. And this guy was the chairman of the Donald Trump campaign for 2016. The rest of this has nothing to do with it. You can make an argument by saying making false and misleading statements and documents filed and submitted under the FARA Act. Other than that, it has nothing to do with Russian involvement. This is the closest thing we have right now to anything that the Russian Federation had to do with the 2016 election. And in any case, I mean, he's actually Ukrainian. So in any case, he was actually doing a lot of stuff for Ukraine, not Russia. So why are we looking at Russia whenever probably the Ukrainians would probably have something better to do with it? because this guy had a thing with the presidential campaign of Viktor Yanukovych, who was a pro-Russian candidate in the Russian elections, and then he finally got ousted in 2014. So I don't know. It's just a massive cluster of just a lot of people trying to pin the blame, and I think this is very dangerous. For I think this is very dangerous. Because it's continuing to divide the United States, and it's going to create more of a it's gonna create something to where it's going to either, for one, impeach Donald Trump, and then we have to have Mike Pence in the presidency. Which, I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but a lot of liberals wouldn't. They're talking about Russia because of the old media narrative of the Obama administration used the funding to take down a Ukrainian president. I don't know. It's just it's a complete cluster of just stuff. Being anti-EU means you must be a Putin puppet. It's an ongoing thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a complete we're gonna see how this turns out. I'm gonna be doing more coverage of the 2018 election. If you guys like this, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go and join my Discord, guys. Go ahead and join my official Discord and have more of a discussion about the Russia investigation. I want to see what you guys have to say about it, and I will join in on that conversation as it goes on. So, guys, I will leave you guys to it. So, guys, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go and watch that Beto O'Rourke rally that I actually recorded for you guys, and took a long time for it to render, but it all went good in the end. So, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one.